I want to start with the Giants off of yesterday, where there was some news that broke yesterday after we signed off at 2 o'clock or around there, where Daniel Jones officially shut down for the year. Now, this is not a surprise to anybody, right? We all knew that Daniel Jones, the likelihood of him playing again this year wasn't very likely. It's a significant issue with the neck, and they want to be better safe than sorry and precautionary with Daniel Jones, who's always seeming to be hurt one way or another. Now, you feel bad for him. You want to see him out there healthy. We can evaluate him fully in year 3, but unfortunately, part of his make or break year 3 has been marred by injuries. And that's just part of who Daniel Jones is and who he's been, which is kind of the complete opposite with Eli Manning, right? A guy who's durable, takes every single snap. Giant fans, we want a mobile quarterback. We want a guy who can run a little bit. Look at this, Danny Dimes. This is great. And now you're seeing that, if your quarterback doesn't play, well, good is he? Got to be able to stay healthy. But even more concerning than that, and by now, I hope you know my thoughts on Daniel Jones. I would look to move on if I'm the Giants from him, and not just because of the injuries, because his ineffectiveness, because of the decisions that he continues to make that are poor on the field in year 3. He's making rookie mistakes, not surveying the field, not having a pocket presence, not throwing the football with touch down the field. Watch Justin Herbert, who's got a cannon for an arm. Watch the way he throws it and then shows some touch on other passes. Daniel Jones, everything is 900 miles an hour, line drive, nothing with air under it or with enough air under it. No touch. Anyway, that's one of the things that drives me nuts, amongst the others. The turnovers, the not reading the field, all those different things. But more alarming than Daniel Jones is the support that he's getting from Joe Judge. I don't understand it. How can Judge confidently say, we've seen enough with Daniel, we've seen enough growth in Daniel to know that he's our guy moving forward? I mean, unless he's throwing us a line of BS, how can he really believe that? How can anybody say that they've seen enough from Jones? Now, to me, I make that decision saying it's year 3. If you have to still decide, is he the guy, or I don't know. If you have to do that in year 3, done. I'm moving on. Especially on top of the other stuff, the injuries and all the other things that I just mentioned. But Joe Judge, he might be a dead man walking. And in this case, dead man talking. So why would I, and I'll tell you, the idea that Joe Judge thinks that he's seen enough in Daniel Jones, well, what exactly is he watching that I'm not? What is he watching that we don't get to see? What, in practice? His maturity, his leadership? Yeah, that's fine. What about on the football field? Your offense stinks. It's been an embarrassment. With or without Daniel Jones. So what exactly is the growth that Joe Judge is seeing to definitively say, well, he's our guy moving forward? That, to me, would be a tricky thing to tie yourself to. Where you're now, all right, and maybe Judge is fighting for survival. I'm sure there's part of it, too, where he knows the Giants hierarchy believes in Daniel Jones moving forward. He knows that maybe his best chance of surviving this job this season, retaining this job on for the next year and potentially, another year after that, would be to attach himself to Daniel Jones. That is alarming to me. And we've beaten this big blue horse to a pulp here. I get it. But to hear Joe Judge definitively come out and back Daniel Jones, who's always hurt and has never performed from start to finish of one season, yet year 3 here. He hasn't given you a sign whatsoever. And then Joe Judge doubles down saying he's the guy moving forward. That would scare me as a Giants fan, because what's going to happen is the seeds are being planted for the Giants to retain Joe Judge, for the Giants to retain Daniel Jones, for the Giants to maybe push Gettleman out and then hire from within. And that's I can't go through another year with the same stuff again. So what's it going to be next year? Well, hold on. Last year, we want to redo for last year. Not a make or break year 3. We want to do over. Year 4 is going to be the make or break year. It doesn't work like that. It shouldn't work like that. If Arizona could decide that they hired the wrong head coach and wrong quarterback in one season, why does it got to take the Giants 3 years? They realized they made a mistake with McAdoofus. They realized they made a mistake with Shermer. So they're just going to ride this one out with Joe Judge? They believe he's the guy. They're buying his fluff instead of looking at the results? Explain this to me. What has Joe Judge done well in year 2? And I've been a Joe Judge supporter. I liked him last year. What has he done well in year 2? What has Daniel Jones done well? Period. Oh, he's been our best running back. Well, that's a problem with the entire team. Your quarterback shouldn't be a running back. He should be a quarterback. And if you took a running back number 2 overall, you shouldn't need your quarterback to be a running back. So which one is it? Receivers can't stay healthy. The offensive line can't block. The defense took a major step back. What has Joe Judge done? What exactly has he accomplished here in year 2? Usually with good head coaches, you see the foundation being set in year 1. Then you see the growth of the program. All right, foundation being set year 1, build upon that. Had they gotten to 8 wins this year, let's say, and didn't make the playoffs, you could understand that. 8 and 9, miss out on the playoffs. All right, it was still a step forward. Some progress in year 2 under Joe Judge. But to regress to the level that they did and to completely be dismantled, whether it's injuries or not or whatever, what is their identity? What do they do well? What is their scheme? The answer is nothing. Their identity is losing. And that's a reflection of the head coach, first and foremost. And now you got to hear him going out there backing Daniel Jones, saying he's the guy moving forward. So and even worse than Jones not being able to be healthy or not being ineffective, even worse than Joe Judge with the babble coach speak, is that the owners, by many indications, in all likelihood, the owners are going to be backing these two, Judge and Jones, and likely hiring from within. That is, you got to give up. They're wasting time here for the inevitable. It's very, to hear that news about Daniel Jones, disappointing. You feel for Daniel Jones, of course, the player. You feel for him saying, you know what, in a make or break year, he broke. Even though he might get a chance next year, it's still going to be a problem for this team dealing with him. But to hear Joe Judge talk about that, oh my God, that to me is more alarming, because I'm telling you now, if there were odds, and I'm not sure there are odds on this, in fact, although it seems that there are odds on everything else. If there were odds on this that you could bet on it, I would bet that they are going to hire from within. They'll push Gettleman out gently. Oh, thanks for your time, Dave. I know, maybe you want to retire and go spend more time with your family, but you really did great for us and left us in such a good position. They'll move him out, promote from within, Abrams or whoever else is up for that job, keep Joe Judge another year and Daniel Jones. And they'll believe that they were right and we were wrong. I've seen it before. I bet against them, not against me. Mike is calling from Manhattan. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Sal. How's it going?
How are you, Mike?
Doing all right. All right, so I'm totally with you on Joe Judge. I think the guy's got to go. Nothing has improved since he got here. All that stuff is correct. I agree. But in regards to Daniel Jones, I hear you. Like, the guy's obviously not a future MVP. He's not. You can't say he's going to be like an all-pro, anything like that. But my problem is I don't want to just get rid of this guy who clearly is decent, all right? He's decent enough. He's better than Mike Glennon, the Mike Glennons of the world.
Oh, well, who's not better than Mike? Mike Glennon sucks. I mean, all due respect. Why would anybody – Mike Glennon, you can't compare him to Mike Glennon.
Okay, but you're comparing them – or you're saying Arizona, why did they get rid of Josh Rosen and take Kyler Murray? Because they had Kyler Murray sitting there. If the Giants had a can't-miss prospect sitting there, I'd say absolutely get rid of Daniel Jones.
Well, but you didn't say that when they had Justin Herbert there. They didn't do that. I mean, the Giants went in all in.
They didn't have Justin Herbert. He didn't come out.
No. When he was out there, they had already drafted Daniel Jones. They could have had Herbert, but they didn't. I mean, they didn't want him.
Well, they needed a quarterback. What do you?
What do you do? Did Arizona need a quarterback after taking Josh Rosen?
Yes, they did. Have you seen Josh Rosen?
Oh, but they took him in the first round. Did they need a quarterback? You watched that year with Arizona, didn't you? That first year, you think Josh Rosen was put in a position to succeed? They made a decision year one saying, you know what, we made a mistake with the head coach and the quarterback and blew it up year one.
Yeah, but did you see Daniel Jones year one? 24 touchdowns and 12 picks.
Yeah, I know. Danny Dimes. He's the greatest quarterback I've ever seen. I took calls
saying... Nobody said that.
No, I did. I took calls saying he was going to be the next Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. Oh, Danny Dimes lighting the season.
But who's the replacement, Sal? Who's the replacement? You just want to draft a random?
No, I don't. No, I've been saying, Mike, that I would rather go... Look, if there is not a quarterback, and thank you for the call, if there's not a quarterback that they love in this year's draft. And right now, it doesn't seem like there is a quarterback that anybody's going to go out there and, go nuts over, the surefire pick. Oh, look at Trevor Lawrence, by the way. How's he been? How the top 2 picks in the draft been? Not to say that they're going to be busts, but you just never know about the hype. So watch in a year where there is no hype, you find a stud quarterback somewhere. If they don't love whoever whoever's taking over for the Giants running things, if they don't love a quarterback, then get a stopgap quarterback, whoever that may be. Yesterday, Jimmy Garoppolo was brought up. I mean, we've talked about, whatever. I'm not saying it's got to be Fitzpatrick or Cam Newton or Teddy Bridgewater, but somebody like that. You'll be able to find a quarterback, be a stopgap guy until you find a real quarterback. The other thought is Russell Wilson. If he becomes available, he would be willing to come to New York. Why? I have no idea. Other than it's the greatest place on earth. But, I mean, to play for the Giants, if he wants to win, you can do better than the Giants. A lot better. Forget about the other options. I know Daniel Jones is not the answer moving forward. And it's alarming to me that the head coach would come out and say that he's seen enough growth. Well, where? Where is it? Give me examples. I want examples. Where is Daniel Jones grown? Because from what I'm watching, he's gotten either worse or stayed the same. He's definitely not gotten better. In year 3, he hasn't gotten any better. He's always hurt. He's making stupid decisions. He's got no feel for the pocket. He's still turning the football over. Where's the growth? What am I not seeing? Mike calling from Bayonne. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's going on, buddy? How you doing today?
Good. How are you, Mike?
Hey, I'm doing great. Listen, I don't understand how any of these Giants fans can sit there and honestly say they're happy with Daniel Jones as the quarterback going forward. It's been 3 years, Sal. We have seen nothing from this kid. This is a quarterback league. The quarterback play with the Giants has been atrocious. And if this organization stays within and hires a GM from within, we're going to be stuck with Daniel Jones. That is why this team and this organization needs to go outside the box, bring in somebody from outside the organization to evolve this team. This team needs to evolve with the quarterback position. And with Daniel Jones, they're simply not doing it, Sal. You can't have a quarterback who throws 10 touchdowns in the NFL.
Well, it's a big problem. Now, it's not the lone problem, Mike, and thank you for the call. It's not the lone problem. You could talk about it's a quarterback-driven league. Yeah, well, you need an offensive line. You need a running game. You need a solid defense. You have to actually build a team. And the Giants have neglected to do so properly. They've tried to build from the outside in. Big mistake. And now what they're trying to do, as opposed to build the team the right way, inside out, now what they're trying to do is, okay, well, Gettleman's going to be forced out because of the backlash, because of the media, fan pressure, whatever. Make him the scapegoat. Similar. Well, I mean, he wouldn't be a scapegoat. He deserves to be fired. But they made Jason Garrett the scapegoat. You get rid of him. Now you're going to push Gettleman out and think that all the problems are solved. But the Giants are the owners, the decision makers. They're believing, to a fault in this case, in both Joe Judge and Daniel Jones. That is as clear as day. I would be stunned if they made a decision to get rid of Jones and Judge, which would be the right decision. Blow it up. I wouldn't say this all the time. I do think patience are necessary. You do have to have some patience and discipline in a lot of situations. You do have to see things through, see them out. This is a mistake. The Giants are making a huge mistake here if they don't hire somebody from the outside, if they don't blow it up all at once. Get Gettleman out. Get somebody from the outside in. Let the person who you bring in from the outside evaluate Joe Judge, Daniel Jones, and the rest of the slop that you're throwing out there every Sunday. And if that person from the outside believes that Daniel Jones is his best option and Joe Judge is the best head coach he can find, and then you know what? Then that's on him. But here's the problem. If they promote, let's just say they push Gettleman out and promote Abrams, which it sounds like that's going to be the case, what happens next year when Daniel Jones gets hurt, when Daniel Jones underperforms, when the offense doesn't score? Then what? So then next year you're going to do what we all are saying we should do this year. So now you've wasted a year, and you've done the same thing, and you just hired a new general manager from within. So now what? You're going to let that new general manager say, oh, well, I took over for Gettleman's team. I kind of was forced to have Joe Judge and Daniel Jones here. Now I'm going to bring in my own head coach, and then the timeline starts over again. The Giants are, where they were lacking patience and continuity, they made mistakes. Now they're trying to amend for those mistakes by being patient and keeping continuity. This is not the right time for that. Sean calling from Carl Place. What's up, Sean?
Oh, man, I'm sorry. Bad time. Just wanted to mention if the Giants want to get a backup, a backstop quarterback, how about this kid Jack Cohn out of Sayville and Long Island?
I've heard about Jack Cohn. Yeah, no, I mean that's not. I'm not looking to go. He's not a stopgap. And thanks for the call, Sean. I know who Jack Cohn is, and Sayville and rah. Yes, Wisconsin, Notre Dame. That's not a stopgap quarterback. That would be a rookie quarterback if in the event that they were to draft Jack Cohn. I'm talking about stopgap quarterback, a professional that has had. Teddy Bridgewater is a stopgap quarterback. He's clearly not the answer in Denver, but he's helped them be competitive this year, win some football games while they are going to search for a new quarterback, whether that is in the draft this coming year in April, whether that is Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, whatever. Until they can upgrade over Teddy Bridgewater to get their guy moving forward. That's a stopgap. Well, we know he's not the answer, but he can help us win some games now. That's not a rookie. It's a guy who's a veteran you're going to bring in. Ryan Fitzpatrick, the perfect example. I mean, the guy's been a stopgap quarterback basically his entire career. So, I mean, while Cohn has done some good things with Notre Dame and in college, that's not the answer right now. You want to talk about drafting? That's a different story. And what it appears now on December 21st, as far as how the draft landscape looks, it's going to be completely different in a couple of months. And then leading up to the draft by March, April, everything changes. So right now, it may not seem like there's a quarterback the team's off. Then all of a sudden you start to see, this team, quarterback-needy teams, they're going to reach. And you say, okay, well, he may not be great when you compare him to some of the talent that we've seen in recent years get drafted high, but he's the best quarterback available. I need a quarterback. I'm taking him. Right or wrong, that's what happens. Stopgap quarterback is not a rookie. And even more so than that, more alarming is the direction of this Giants franchise. That's going to be the key. It doesn't matter what they do against the Eagles on Sunday. It doesn't matter what they do against Washington or the Bears to finish out this just disgusting season yet again. It matters what they do after those 3 weeks. That's when it matters most. How are they going to move on from Dave Gettleman? What's going to be the transition?